Hey there. Hello, Pursuing Freedom friends, and thanks for tuning in today. So I have a unique episode for you today because usually I'm here with a guest and interviewing a real estate agent on their best practices, tips, strategies, etc., that they've used to help themselves become successful in both business and more importantly in life, which is what it's all about. Today, I'm actually going to share a strategy that worked for me. I've been talking about this a lot with agents and lenders as well. And generally just this idea that we all struggle with some level of fear when we're growing our business. And that could be whether you're brand new to the business and you're struggling with contacting friends and family and not wanting to look salesy and not wanting to feel like there's an agenda behind everything you do. So therefore we just don't pick up the phone and we don't promote our businesses. It could also be for folks that are just so busy and struggle with keeping in touch with their past clients. And the statistics are alarming, just how many agents admit that they don't keep in touch with their past clients. And here at Team Bradley, with my mortgage team, we are very passionate about keeping in touch with our past clients. And recently, as we're going through doing annual reviews, we're finding so many of our clients from 2012, 2015, et cetera, that are ready to move on. They're growing families or becoming empty nesters or whatever the case might be, and they're ready to buy a home in 2019. And when we ask them if they're working with the same realtor they'd used before, many of them are not, because they've lost touch with their agent. And it's been sort of just something on the forefront of my mind, this whole idea of how do we overcome fear, promote our business in a way that builds trust and develops relationships that last a lifetime. And so for me, I struggled, as many of you know, if you've read my book, Pursuing Freedom, you know that the first few years of being self-employed were painful, to say the least. I struggled so hard. I was so sales averse. I didn't want to ever talk about the fact that I was in the mortgage business. I swear I had good friends that didn't know what I did for a living. And the results that I had reflected the fact that I was terrified to pick up the phone and do sales activities. And so I understand more than anyone just how hard that can be. And so I really want to dig into this idea. And I'm going to share a story about how I finally doubled my business after years of being plateaued. And it all started with this adopting the philosophy of the book, The Go-Giver, and this idea that we can be a resource above and beyond what we get paid to do, care about what's going on in people's lives, and ultimately see transactions, deals, whatever you want to call it, come as a byproduct of actually caring about people and all of their issues. So we're going to dig into a little strategy. It's the strategy you can also read in my book, Pursuing Freedom. And I'm going to share my screen in case you're watching the YouTube video and we can kind of dig in. And it's going to be a step-by-step process. So I recommend that you listen to it again and again, or if you're listening in your car, go ahead and subscribe on the channel, on our YouTube channel, Erin Bradley, Pursuing Freedom, so that you can never miss an episode going forward, and also so that you can watch and follow along and take notes and start taking action on creating different results for you and your business and have more fun doing it. That's the key. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen and we are going to jump right in. Here we go. This is very fancy for me. I've never done this on the podcast. All right, so the best form of database marketing, and the slogan here says, be yourself, increase your referrals, and have more fun growing your business. That's what it's all about. So the mission here is that you want to provide more value than you hope to receive in payment. That is the philosophy of the Go-Giver. If you haven't read the Go-Giver, go get it now. It's by John David Mann and Bob Berg. It is a game changer. And if you're struggling with sales because it feels too self-serving, this is the book for you, okay? The mission is to be a resource above and beyond what you get paid to do and allow the transactions to come as a byproduct, as I already mentioned. And more importantly, it's to stay relevant and stay connected. What does that mean? So what I noticed when I was early in my career is that first and foremost, most of my clients don't need a mortgage except every 3 to 5 years, let's say. But we're supposed to be keeping in touch with them regularly. And I just felt like, mortgages really aren't sexy, okay? Real estate is. Like, there's so much cool stuff about buying and selling homes, but the mortgage process, when you're not buying a house or refinancing, nobody really cares about interest rates. I mean, at least in my experience. So I felt like I needed to be relevant and I needed to be engaging with my clients and friends and family in a way that was value adding, so that I could be top of mind, so that when they need a mortgage or when they know someone who needs one, they instantly think of me as Erin Bradley, the human being that cares about them, who also does mortgages for a living. So the mortgages are the byproduct of the human connection. So we're going to dig in here. So first and foremost, you need to have a database, okay? I'm sure you already know this, and many of you already do probably have a CRM or client relationship manager. And many of you are probably figuring out what CRM is the best for me. The bottom line is the best CRM is the one that you use. So whether it's an Excel spreadsheet with a list of people, or it's some fancy software that automates emails throughout the process and creates tasks for you, whatever the case might be, you need to organize your target market. And I refer to my target market as the village. It's the people that we want to serve. Now, that's really important, saying the people that I want to serve. A lot of times we go out into the world in this business and we know we need to grow our business, but we don't want to market to the people we're closest to. And to me, that's kind of insane, because who's going to take the best care of your friends? You or some other random real estate agent or lender? You are. They deserve to work with you because nobody's going to go above and beyond more than you. And it's okay that your friends and family think of real estate when they think of you, or that when they think of you, they think of real estate, or whatever. They go hand in hand, okay? So personally, I would prefer to do business with people I love and enjoy. And I think that my target market has always been based on who do I really enjoy working with. So even now, 13 years into the business, as I think about who I want to keep in touch with and build my business around and grow by referral through, it's the people that I enjoy the most. So if you're brand new to the business, it is going to be your friends and family, and they deserve the opportunity of working with you because you are going to treat them better than anybody else out there. So first and foremost, decide who you want to serve. It says here, think about friends, family, past clients, neighbors, people you know through church, coworkers. The list goes on and on. If you're new to the business and you don't have past clients, I guarantee you know 50 people that you can provide value for. And it says here, just look at your Facebook account. You know a lot of people that deserve the level of service that you're going to provide them, okay? So first and foremost, create a list of folks that you want to serve. Next, we have to develop a tribe of trusted local service providers to be a resource to our friends and family or our village to solve the problems that we don't solve. So for example, as a mortgage lender, maybe once every 3 to 5 years, they're going to need me to solve the problem of needing a mortgage to buy or refinance, right? In between, life is happening. So for those 3 years in between when they need me for a mortgage, there's other stuff going on, right? Maybe they relocated, for example, from another state. They probably need a dentist. They might need a pediatrician. They probably need a family doctor. There's health and wellness professionals they might want to get connected to. There's financial services. They would probably need an insurance agent. They might want a local financial planner. They probably need a real estate agent. There's also contractors for the home, handyman, electrician, landscaper, on and on it goes, right? So personally, I felt like if I can promote myself as a resource and be the, now obsolete yellow pages for my clients, I can train them to think of me when they need anything, which means they'll certainly think of me when the word mortgage comes to mind or when they hear somebody else needing mortgage. So the goal is that we need to uncover our clients and friends and family's issues and then solve those problems by being a connector. So because you can't solve all the problems, you can help them find people who can. And that's called building a tribe. Now, I do have a worksheet. If you go to Pursuing Freedom website, pursuingfreedom.com, and if you click on the button to download the free 5-step guide to more referrals, you'll find most of this content there. And by putting yourself in the email list, I can also send you the PDF of the printout for the list of professions that we try to fulfill so that we can be a resource to our clients above and beyond just being a mortgage lender, okay? So how do you find out what people's issues are, what they need? So I have here that you frog and then resolve. Now, if you're listening, you may have heard the term frog or FORD before. They mean the same thing. So FROG stands for family, recreation, occupation, and goals. FORD, pretty much the same thing. It's family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. So what that means is whenever I'm talking to people, I'm asking lots of questions. How are the kids? Where are they going to school? Did they get into college? What are you guys doing for the holidays? Do you have any travel plans for this year? Are you guys doing any projects around the house? Oh, you're expecting a baby. Do you need a recommendation for a good pediatrician? You're heading back to work. Do you need a recommendation for a good daycare? Oh, you're remodeling the basement. Do you need a flooring guy? Do you need a contractor? Do you need a bathroom person? Do you need a plumber? What kind of work are you doing? How can I be a resource? So you're training folks to think of you as someone who's got a guy for everything. And I use the word got a guy because, well, I'm from Philly and I got a guy, hey, oh. But no, I mean, I use the expression I got a guy, but it can be a girl. And I used to say, if you need a mortgage, I've got a guy, I'm the guy. But you got to have a guy for everything, okay, or a girl. So you're going to frog. That just means asking questions. I think this frog philosophy is really powerful, especially if you're someone who's like, all right, my coach tells me I need to make 5 calls a day. So I'm going to make the 5 calls. And so you make 5 calls. Hey, how are you doing? How do you like, is everything good? Do you like the house? Okay, awesome. Well, if you need anything, give me a call. If you know somebody who needs a realtor, I'm your guy, right? And then you hang up. Well, you may be able to check a box that you made a call, but you could have done so much more. So I personally feel that frog is the key to becoming a resource and to training people to think of you as such. What I mean by that is that when that call happens, well, what else is going on? Did you guys do anything fun for Valentine's Day? Okay, there's always a holiday coming up. Are you doing anything fun for the 4th of July? Are you guys doing anything for spring break? How are the kids? How old are they now? What are they doing? Are they playing sports? Do your kids like to ski? I mean, the questions go on, but the bottom line is, if you ask a few simple questions from the list of frog questions, which by the way, I'm also happy to provide to you, we have a list of frog questions that we use, and we encourage everyone on our team to ask at least one question from the list on every phone call. It's opening up the opportunity for conversation. And then people start talking. It doesn't take too many questions for you to find out that something awful's happened. Maybe someone's in the hospital, somebody broke a leg, they just lost their pet, or something awesome is happening. They got a new job, they're engaged, they just got married, they're having a baby, they have a grandbaby. There's so many things that we can be celebrating and or, you know, mourning with our friends and family and clients. So simply ask a few questions, and I promise you'll uncover something where you can then follow up and become a resource. Okay, so if you're looking at the YouTube video here, you can see this is just an example list of different types of professions that we want to have in our back pocket so that we can build our tribe and become a resource to our clients above and beyond the mortgage process, okay? Again, if you'd like a copy of this, just reach out to me in the comments. I'll be sure to get you a copy. Okay, so getting started. So if you're listening to this on iTunes podcast and you're not seeing the screen, all I did was share a list of professions, everything from accountant to acupuncture and everything in between, okay? So health and wellness, financial services, home contracting services, you name it. So what I always do, and when I say always, I really mean always. This business is never a straight line. I've been in it for 13 years. And while the jagged line is pointing upwards, there are ups and downs. There are times where life happens. You might have a baby and your pipeline will dry up. I'm sorry to say it, but that's what happens sometimes. And by the way, for all you women out there that are going to have babies, enjoy it and let your pipeline dry up, because with this process, you can always start again. And I've started over and over again using this process a number of times and more than doubled the business several times, okay? So this process works anytime. It never gets old. So what you do is you print off the list and you put it on your desk. It's a physical reminder that you need to get to work. So the first thing you do is you look at a list of 20, 30 professions and fill in who do you know that you would refer and trust to help your friends and family and clients. And off the top of your head, just write all those names in. Now, the chances are you're going to have some blanks on that piece of paper. Hopefully you do, because that's where the work happens, okay? So the blanks are your homework. What you're going to do now is you're going to leverage your village, which, as I mentioned earlier, is your target market, your friends and family and clients. You're going to leverage them to build the tribe and fill in those blanks. This is where the magic happens. If you're someone, as I mentioned, who struggles with getting on the phone and engaging because what's stopping you is this feeling that you're self-serving. So we're told we need to make calls to grow our business. And so when we go to make those calls and we're going to call a friend, it feels awkward because we're just calling our friend and we might want small talk with them and sincerely care about what's going on with them. But if we're doing it because there's an agenda behind it, which is, I need to make sure I mention that I'm a real estate agent, and if they know somebody that needs a real estate agent, I got a guy and I'm the guy, right? So then what happens? We don't make the calls. Or we make one call and then we allow ourselves to get distracted by email and text messages and social media, and we feel like we won the day. So now you have a purpose for calling, okay? The purpose of the phone call is that you take your database, you take your target market, your list of friends, family, and past clients, and you simply start calling them. And based on what you know about them, you're going to ask them if they know any good local service providers that fit within these categories that you're trying to fill. I'm doing this recording in February, okay? It's February 22nd today, 2019. It's tax time. You could start on Monday and call every person you know and simply ask them who they use to file taxes and get a list of great accountants and start engaging with those accountants. We're going to talk about how we're going to leverage this in a moment. But it doesn't matter if you call everyone and you ask for one profession, you have the same conversation every time. The key is that you're getting on the phone and you're letting them know, hey, part of my business plan for 2019 is that I really want to be a resource to my friends and family and clients above and beyond just being their real estate agent. So what I did there is I subtly plugged the fact that I'm a real estate agent, or in my case, a lender, and the expectation that when they need one, I'm going to be the person they call, right? So you're doing the work by mentioning your profession and the expectation that you want to be a resource above and beyond just being their real estate agent when the time comes. So with that, you're building a referral directory of trusted local service providers, and you were wondering if they know a good fill in the blank, okay? If the answer is no, that's great. You have a reason to follow up now. You have homework, okay? More reasons to engage. This is a snowball effect of activity is what comes from it. If they say yes, they love their fill in the blank, go ahead and write that person's name in the blank, get their contact information, and we're going to come back to that. But just keep making the calls. Every single time I do this, without fail, I'll get through 20 calls and all of a sudden I'll see leads coming in from all different directions because I'm simply putting in the activity. I'm putting the effort out there and I'm saying to the universe, I'm hungry for more. The universe will find a way to deliver. So don't get hung up on how many calls you get through. Just know that this process works, okay? So now you've got a list of business owners. Before you're going to add them to your list and refer your other friends and family to these people, you need to personally vet them. So what I recommend is reaching out to the businesses that were recommended to you and just see if you can get a cup of coffee with them and you let them know, hi, my name is so-and-so, and we have a mutual friend in common who said that you're amazing, or we have a client in common who said you're amazing. As a real estate agent, as a mortgage lender, my clients are always coming to me asking for referrals for trusted local service providers, and I had a gap in my referral directory for a good blah, 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 okay? And I've heard you're amazing. I'd love to grab a cup of coffee and learn more about your business, okay? So first and foremost, if somebody says no to that, they're not part of your tribe, okay? Your tribe are people that are just like you. They're looking to be a resource to their friends and family and clients. They're looking to serve, they're looking to connect, and they want to go above and beyond. So if someone doesn't want to have coffee with you, that's fine. Just delete them from your tribe list, okay? But then you get in front of a couple people, you're going to know very quickly if you're in alignment with this person. What I recommend is looking to collaborate with other business owners that also try to grow their business by referral. It's not to say that being found online and having that be your primary source of business is a bad thing, but you want to collaborate with relationship-minded people. So if you're someone who feels that the success of your business is always going to be about the depth of the relationships you have, you want to be referring folks that are the same way, because it's all about how we make people feel, right? There's a Maya Angelou quote that says, people will forget what you say, people will forget what you did, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. So I personally like to refer business to, accountants, insurance agents, financial planners, et cetera, that are relationship oriented as well, because I know that they're going to make my clients feel the way that I would want them to feel. So you sit down for coffee, and then what? This is the same as what I mentioned earlier. You don't just want to check the boxes. You're always looking to go deeper and be a resource above and beyond what you get paid to do. So when I sit down with another business owner, I frog and then resolve. Same thing. So I ask them tons of questions. How did you get into this line of work? What prompted you to become a business owner? When did you go out on your own? How did you go about growing your business? What are the challenges that you've experienced? What are your goals? What are your bottlenecks? Okay, so I'm really trying to dig deep, because typically I can find something that is going on with someone and be a resource to them. And it could be personal, professional. Maybe I recommend a business book that might help them. I'm always looking for ways to follow up and make that connection deeper. Everybody has issues. So you want to be a resource to everyone you meet, okay? Not just the people you make the calls to or the people you meet for coffee. It's everyone. Your mission every day is to go out and be a resource and be of value to every person you encounter. So what I'm looking for always is the action item. There's a great book called The 7 Levels of Communication, written by Michael Marr. I think that's how it's pronounced. Anyway, he talks about how you should leave every encounter with an action item. What that means is it's an excuse to follow up. So it might be just a handwritten note saying, congratulations on such and such, or I'm so sorry to hear about such and such. Or it might be a business card of somebody that can help them with something that they're working on or have an issue with. It might even be a little gift for the new baby in their lives or whatever. But there's always an action item, always a follow-up. So now, as you're getting to know these business owners, what I tend to do with this trying to be a resource is I start sharing this idea of, hey, have you ever thought about calling your clients and saying to them, I know this might seem strange, I'm a carpet cleaner, but if you ever need anything, I've got tons of resources of trusted local service providers. So if you ever need, and just rattle off a few things, if you ever need a real estate agent or a lender or insurance agent, I've got a guy for everything. So you're also, regardless of what business you're in, if you're a family photographer, you're an insurance agent, there's a lot of services that, much like real estate and lending, we only do once a year, maybe twice a year, right? Massage therapist, hairdresser. There's so many service providers that sometimes you see them every week, sometimes you see them once a year. So if you can train the people you're referring business to think the same way and start building their own tribe, and then they're now promoting you proactively by simply marketing themselves as a resource above and beyond what they get to do, that's where the magic happens. Because now all of a sudden you're helping these other business owners grow their business, and you are becoming a trusted resource in their life. They might be receiving lots of referrals from realtors without ever having anyone actually try to sit down with them and help them improve upon their business or the way that they market. And we're so lucky in the real estate and lending world because we do get so much coaching, or we have access to a lot, right? We're invited to seminars by title companies. There's tons of coaches in our industry. So we're often being provided opportunity to do personal and professional development. And a lot of industries aren't so lucky. So why not pass on what you're learning to others and help them and watch what happens? Because reciprocity is a beautiful thing, and that's the purpose of the Go-Giver. All right, so last thing here, and then we'll wrap it up. So you've got your database, which is your village. You're now building a tribe of people that can serve your village, and eventually the tribe becomes part of your village when they start using you as their trusted realtor because you've gone above and beyond for them. The third thing is marketing. So marketing is where, now what do? You have to train people to think of you as this resource, as their yellow pages. So some of the things that I did over the years was a monthly mailer. Like I said, nobody cares about mortgages right after they got one, in my opinion, anyway. Maybe I'm just being insecure about that, but I just don't think anybody really cares. So I thought I want to be a resource. So I started sending the business card of somebody else every month. Then I felt, my friends and family would be inspired to open it and say, oh, I wonder who Erin's introducing me to this month. And what happens is all of a sudden I'm sending more business to the tribe. The tribe appreciates me even more because I'm proactively marketing them, not reactively. And my clients and friends and family are receiving something of value, and they're coming to be trained to think of me when they need anything. You can do client appreciation events where you invite all of your tribe to come and proactively introduce them to people that they either should be networking with or potential clients. We used to give out a business card binder at closing filled with business cards and something tangible to say, hey, if you need anything, I have this for you. If you can't find what you're looking for, call me. So we were then training clients to open that book when they needed something, and if they couldn't find it, call me. And people loved that. Obviously, closing gifts can be a way of marketing other businesses as well. So for example, maybe you have a friend that's a family photographer and you have a young family buying their first home. Can you do a gift certificate for the photographer so that the family can do a photo shoot in their new home, okay? Maybe you know a good handyman or a carpet cleaning service or something of the sort where you can do a gift card to a service. Or, you know they have odds and ends, so you want to send the handyman to go fix some things or whatever. So there's ways to incorporate promoting other businesses into your closing gift and be more value adding than a bottle of champagne. Obviously, there's video marketing more and more today. So if you're going to have coffee with somebody, why not shoot a quick selfie video introducing this amazing local service provider, tag them on Facebook, you show up on their page, their clients see you, their friends see you, etc. You can start mastermind groups with a bunch of local businesses. Special occasions. I knew someone who had a personal assistance business. So we were able to provide a gift card to her services so that she could come and to help unpacking and organize someone's kitchen. It goes on and on. So again, there's more ideas. There's digging in deeper in the book, Pursuing Freedom, if you want to order that on Amazon. You can contact me if you have questions. And the last thing I'm going to mention here for real estate agents, the best investment I've ever made is PhoneBurner, phoneburner.com, okay? Check it out. The beauty of PhoneBurner is that we need to be making these calls, and the more we make, the more results we get. So I found that using PhoneBurner, which is a simple dialer service, it's different from slide dial. You're actually calling. But if you want to have a pre-recorded voicemail, you can. And the pre-recorded voicemail could be, hey, I just had a quick question for you. This is Erin over at Fairway Mortgage. I just had a quick question for you. Give me a buzz when you get a chance. I didn't say their name. So essentially what I do is you can pick 50 people that you want to call. They're all uploaded in the system. And you hit start dialing and it starts calling. And when it goes to voicemail, you can choose to leave a personalized voicemail, or you can choose to click leave voicemail and then it starts dialing the next name. Even if you leave personalized voicemails on every call, it still speeds up the process. I find I can do about 50 calls in an hour, or 20 calls in a half an hour, because 80% go to voicemail. So it's really just about efficiency, it's speed, and it also takes the fear out of it a little bit, because you don't really have time to analyze whether you think this person likes you or whether you feel awkward calling because they're your friend or whatever the case might be. So it kind of takes the fear out of it, makes you do it, you get more done, and it's just ultimately more impactful. So I highly recommend PhoneBurner for anyone who's never tried it. It's totally affordable. It's a game changer, worth it. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I know I'm a fast talker, so you can always reach out to me. Subscribe to the podcast, or subscribe on YouTube at Erin Bradley Pursuing Freedom. And then you can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. I'm always open to feedback. If there's any topics you'd like to have covered, I would be happy to do more classes like this. I appreciate you. I look forward to hearing from you. And I wish you an awesome day and much, much success and happiness in your business and your life. Love ya. Bye-bye.